Doing it to print.
Mhm. So, please.
Okay, I'm gonna let everybody know.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. Welcome to our New Jersey Chanchumwan prayer vigil. We will begin by greeting our Heavenly Parents and True Parents. Chanjin Champumuke Kyungbe. Paro. We will now recite the family pledge, first in Korean.
가정맹세 4. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님의 창조 이상인 천주 대가족을 형성하여 자유와 평화와 통일과 행복의 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Thank you. Now in English. For our family, the owner of Chanoguk, pledges to build the universal family encompassing heaven and earth, which is the Heavenly Parent's ideal of creation, and perfect the world of freedom, peace, unity, and happiness by centering on true love. Thank you. Now for opening prayer, can I please ask Miss Ava Clark if you can open us up in prayer, please?
Please join me in prayer. Good morning, Heavenly Parent. Thank you so much for the gift of this new day. We have opportunities every morning, every moment to make new beginnings, to connect with you. Of course, ideally, we never lose our connection. But I pray, Heavenly Parent, this day that we can really spend as much time as possible, have as much space in our heart and in our mind and in our day for you, and to really be that ideal object partner that you had in mind way before the creation of the world began. It's truly amazing that we are created as your children, and that we have learned and are learning and are trying to really live into this of you wanting us to be better even than you are. That is, of course, not possible, but the heart and the generosity and your kindness and your purity and the perfection of your ideal, even a world of freedom, peace, unity, and happiness. That's what you created. That's what you want to see. That's what you have committed to. And you've gone through so much throughout history, and things that we can't even imagine how you could even keep going and keep loving and keep building in the face of so much opposition and disappointment and heartache. So we're very grateful, Heavenly Parent, for your heart of holding on to us and moving forward. And of course, true parents are the champions of that as well. And we are always touched, moved, and inspired by our to parents' heart and their filial heart towards you, and their unending determination and dedication to liberating you and saving humanity and building the kingdom. It's truly amazing. I pray that we can be part of this effort and part of the solution and part of really uplifting and making the world a better place. I thank you so much. Please be present with all of us here. I offer this prayer in the name of Roy and Eva Clark, a blessed central family. Achu.
Thank you so much, Eva Clark, for that beautiful opening prayer. We will now go into our morning light stretches. So we will begin by taking 3 deep breaths in and out. Right, so deep breath in and out. Another one in and out. One more in and out. All right, now we'll reach for the sky. Big stretch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Move to the left side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. And we'll reach forward, arching your back a little bit. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. And we'll go around our back. We reach. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Now cross. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Now we'll do arm circles. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other way. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Now we're bringing your knees to your chest. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. All right, and now we'll do rotation. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And last 10 seconds, you can stretch or massage any body part you feel needs it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Hopefully everyone's wide awake and ready to share any appreciations and gratitudes for today. I'll see you guys in a few minutes. Welcome back. I had a great breakout room with Mr. Manuel Liba. So if I can please ask Mr. Liba to unmute and share your appreciation and gratitude for today.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Now, my appreciation is still a couple of days we attended the Great Works. That was really like a good experience, because even if we try to live good lives, we know in the process of time, we're not surrounded by an ideal environment, so always something is piling up. So I feel like that was really an opportunity to kind of refresh, right, reboot. So that was kind of like my experience. It was really so well made, the songs and then the whole atmosphere, and it was just a very, very, very moving experience there. And of course, I'm very grateful. Since we're working with the boats, so we're in the process already, getting the boats ready for the season. So it's and yes, progress is taking place. So I'm very grateful for this.
Mm.
It's kind of like what's in my mind this morning there. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Liba, for sharing your appreciation today. Alrighty, we will now be moving on to True Mother's memoir. So please prepare your hearts and your minds as we listen to True Mother's reading and Dr. Ward as he shares his insight for today. Thank you.
Good morning to brothers and sisters, and thank you so much for joining today, and thanks Heavenly Parent for the opportunity to share some thoughts today. Could we start by the first paragraph, Mother of Peace? Okay, this is entitled Bold Love Breaks an Iron Curtain. With the coming of the year 1990, people were feeling hopeful that the world might truly change. I would hear one person saying the term Cold War will soon no longer be heard, and another responding, that may be your hope, but the Soviet Union is holding on, and communism is gaining power in many countries. Peace cannot be so easily achieved. They would agree on one point: it won't be easy. In the late 1980s, with American conservatism on the rise, the Solidarity movement generating success in Poland, and Glasnost and Perestroika progressing in Russia, the world was entering an era of reconciliation, at least on a superficial level. But at the same time, Moscow-directed insurgencies were building momentum in Africa, Asia, and Central America. Moscow had succeeded in forcing the United States to pull out of Vietnam, allowing communism to run rampant there and in the killing fields of Cambodia. Marxists were still bent on their ambition to communize the entire world. At that time, my husband and I sponsored the World Media Association fact-finding tours, taking Western journalists to see firsthand the conditions in the Soviet Union and other communist states. Informing journalists with indisputable facts was an effective step toward ending the Cold War. Besides taking the blinders off these journalists' eyes, the tours generated positive relations with Russian media. In addition, we welcomed the teams from the communist countries during the 1988 Seoul Olympics, serving them with Korean food and gifts. On that foundation, my husband and I decided to go to Moscow to meet President Mikhail Gorbachev. Thank you. So I'd like to share a little bit, some thoughts today on True Parents and the march to Moscow, based upon some of the words that we have been reading. And I'd like to start by saying, I was lucky enough to participate on one of those journalist tours in Moscow, and it was so amazing because, you would come there and all of the journalists that joined us, I remember that year, that was 1987, they were kind of sympathetic to Moscow. They weren't communists. They just thought, well, yeah, these are people that are trying to do something to make the world a better place. But by the end of the 10 days, they all became so negative towards the Soviet Union just because of the way that people treated them. They were just like kind of shocked that they told like incredible, the Soviet Union told incredible propaganda stories that were just so impossible to believe, and by the end, people were really, really unhappy about it. So I could really see the power and the wisdom of Father's decision to send American journalists to Moscow. There was a difference in the way that true parents opposed communism and other people did. And also, there was the mainstream media's attitude toward communism, which I kind of already pointed to. And the mainstream media seemed to be saying communism is bad, but so are other things bad. And they would say, look, because back then there was still apartheid in South Africa. Look, there's South African apartheid. They're anti-communist. Is that good? Or the war in Vietnam and sometimes suspected Viet Cong just being shot in the street, as you see right here, executed on the spot. And people saw these things on television and said, what are we supporting? What's going on here? And, Latin America just filled with so many stories of brutality and torture and dictatorship. And the media would say, yeah, communism is bad, but these things are also bad. And we're going to focus our attention on these instead. So the media, if you go back and you look at the New York Times or the Washington Post or so many other publications of that time, they wanted to focus on these things. And what they didn't understand was that by focusing on those types of things, they were just pushing more countries into the communist world. This photo, by the way, is an East Berlin side of the wall that used to exist in Berlin. And you can see there those huge barriers. There were minefields. There were police dogs. There were machine guns. And at the end of all that, if you look on the right, there was this huge wall, which was like, 15, 20 feet high. And it was round on the top. So it was really virtually impossible to get out of that place, And what True Parents did through the Washington Times was they said, we're going to focus on this. We're going to focus on this. We're not going to focus on the other things, but we're going to focus on letting people know what's happening because the media, the Western press, is pushing more and more countries into this kind of a circumstance and a condition. True Parents understood that communism said that it was impossible to reform the Western world. And it was only through basically establishing a communist revolution and then a repressive police state that it would ever become possible to achieve what was an ideal. However, True Parents understood that the democratic system, even though abused, can be reformed and can be restored. It was interesting, back like in the 1980s, because Father sometimes brought Korean legislators to the United States. And when he brought them to the United States, he would say to them, now, while you're here, please study the American system. Look at the way that the American government works. And it's not perfect, but there are so many things that we can be able to learn from the way in which the United States government, with its checks and balances, with its rule of law, there are so many things that we can learn as Koreans, and we should learn in order to build a more effective government. So the point is that True Parents could understand that there was something fundamentally good, and in Western societies, because of the Christian base, there was something fundamentally good. And if you could get back to that, then it would be possible to somehow go forward in a positive way. They also recognized that the Christian-inspired democratic system was meant to prepare people for the original ideal centered on God. So I just would like to say, True Parents loved America based upon thinking about the Pilgrim Fathers and also thinking about the way in which America had potential to do great things if it could fulfill its responsibility. You know, in the United States, as we all know, you have people from all types of religions, all types of races, all types of ethnicities, and we have to interface with each other every single day. Other parts of the world, that doesn't happen. Certainly it's not perfect. Certainly there have been horrible things that have happened that shouldn't have happened. But the reality is that somehow we in the United States, just the way that God brought us all together, it's the place where we can be able to kind of rub off all the rough edges and step by step become a family. So we're kind of ahead of the game in comparison to the rest of the world where people have been isolated. Indeed, if we look at Dr. Martin Luther King, he also understood this. He understood that there was something fundamentally good in America. And it's really worthwhile at times just to go back and to read his August 28th, 1963 March on Washington speech, I Have a Dream. Because in that speech, he talks fundamentally to the Americans about the underpinnings of American democracy. This is verbatim from his speech. He said, when the architects of our republic, you notice he says our republic, wrote the magnificent words of the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, they were signing a promissory note to which every American was to fall heir. This note was a promise that all men, yes, black men as well as white men and women, would be guaranteed the inalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So he takes us back to the ideal. And then he puts in a jab. He says, it is obvious today that America has defaulted on this promissory note insofar as her citizens of color are concerned. Instead of honoring this sacred obligation, America has given the Negro people a bad check, a check which has come back marked insufficient funds. But what does he say next? He says, let us not wallow in the valley of despair. I say to you today, my friends, so even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. And how does he speak about that? He says, it is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream, deeply rooted in the American dream. So he's wanting to show, I'm not going someplace else. I believe in the foundations of what the American dream was. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. So he's quoting from the Declaration of Independence. True parents had a dream also. They understood what America was supposed to be. And they also understood that America was meant to play a very important role in dealing, first of all, with the problem of communism, and also eventually in contributing to the realization of the kingdom of God. And so back in 1973, July 1st, 1973, this speech, I think yesterday Mother referenced, this speech really reminds us that Father frames the world in a certain way. He compared himself in our church to David, and he compared the communist world, and particularly the Soviet Union of that time, with all of its missiles and all of its soldiers and all of its expansion throughout Eastern Europe and Asia and Africa. He compared David and Goliath. And I would really urge all of you to go back and to read that precious speech of July 1st, 1973 that Mother referenced. Again, I'm so grateful to Gary Fleischer. I know he's joining us here today for his work with tparents.org, because you can go back and you can find all those things. I'd just like to read a few lines from that speech. Talking about this situation of our church like being David and the Soviet Union being like Goliath, Father says, David did not have any armament. He was dressed humbly and he stood up to Goliath. I am sure from the position of communism, they are surely decided that the size of our Unification Church is so insignificant and our VOC is so small that they are laughing at us. However, God will persevere and wait until the very last moment when things look bad. He will persist until the very last moment. That's the way God makes his victory dramatic, from extreme to extreme. There, America's David is you, the Unification Church. We are summoned. David stands forward to Goliath. Now Goliath is laughing at David, but David, however small, knows that God is with him. He has firm belief that God is with him and untiring faith that God's power is working within him. He never fears. With God with him, David became an invincible and fearless person. Therefore, David is waiting for the final command from God. As soon as the command comes, he fought as with one stroke, and the decisive victory was done. How perfectly identical our position is to that of David. However, we should be better than David. At least David had his own nation, Israel, but we do not have our own nation. Yet we emerge out of our wilderness. We come to this power. So we have to save this people and save this country and lead them into Canaan together. Talking about America, our ultimate goal is a march to Moscow. So our battle could be more dramatic than the Battle of David, because we formed our power in the wilderness and came against a giant more dramatic than Goliath. Our victory will be a victory for God. The command to march forward against Goliath is coming today, July 1st. I only hope you are ready in your spirit, in your faith, your determination, and your physical well-being. Anyway, this speech, the whole speech is so powerful. And Father gave this speech in tears, desperate, knowing what he had to do. And lo and behold, he never abandoned that. And finally, it was in April of 1990 that the Moscow rally took place, so to speak, through the 11th World Media Conference. And this is a photo of Larry Moffat. I think many of you know him. He's been involved for so many years with the Washington Times Foundation, one of the vice presidents there. But he was the person who was responsible for these tours into the Soviet Union that I mentioned. And when did Father talk about starting these tours in the Soviet Union? In the midst of the Danbury trials. It was at that time. Someone else would be thinking about themselves, but Father wasn't. Even at that moment, and you can see Mother's right behind him in the picture there on your right. Even at that very moment, already their thoughts were on going to Moscow, and that somehow this was going to be a way to open the door for that to happen. And that's precisely what happened. It became possible to connect with major figures in the Soviet media, and therefore the doors were open to be able to go to Moscow. So this is True Parents' photo in Red Square in April of 1990. And if you read that July 1st, 1973 speech, you can really understand what Father means when he said, bet your neck. So thank you very much. That's my thoughts for today.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ward, for those beautiful insights today and your message for today. So we will now be moving on to our breakout room to share any key takeaways from True Mother's reading or from Dr. Ward today. I'll see you guys in a few minutes. Welcome back, everyone. I hope everyone enjoyed their breakout rooms today. I had Mr. Kulpa Jesotel in my breakout room today, and it was great catching up and listening to his takeaways today. But unfortunately, due to time, we will not go into our representative sharing. But we do have a special surprise today. Today is our beloved Pastor Naokimi's birthday. So I have some special guests here with me today to help me celebrate Pastor Naokimi's birthday, and we're gonna sing "Happy Birthday." Alrighty, can you get everybody in? Right? See, Jeff. Yeah. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Pastor Naokimi. Happy birthday to you. One more time for perfection. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday,
Naokimi.
Happy
Birthday.
birthday to you. Yay, happy birthday, Pastor Naokimi.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, Pastor Naokimi, did you want to say a few words?
Just wasn't expecting that. So thank you, Lalone family. That was beautiful. Makes me want to visit your place again. I think I visited one time way back when. But anyway, yeah, thank you for your birthday wishes. Thank you everyone for joining today as well. Thank you.
You. Yes, Pastor Naokimi, I hope you have an amazing day. Alrighty, we will now be moving on to our Chunchumon prayer. So I'd like to pass it on to Pastor Takino for any announcements and closing prayer.
Yes, happy birthday, Pastor Naokimi. And I so gratitude God sends you to the America. You are born in Japan, but come to America. Yeah. Okay. So I like to share some actually that yesterday we had a ACLC New Jersey 12 discipleship of Jesus meeting. It was wonderful meeting, and we are sharing a lot how we can, and the 5 points of the true mother's desire, and they 7 pastors came, and they all received a family flag, and so we're going to move forward. How we can, we like to have a family flag ceremony, and continue to how we can share the blessing to their congregation, and sharing about the true family value. So I'm sorry. I just want to share last moment of our meeting in the Chonshin prayer room. Yeah, that was happened yesterday, and so New Jersey ACLC continued to expanding the Christian Foundation, and we are working together with our family faith organization, and so please continue to pray for Pastor Crescentia for quick recovery, and she can go back to normal life, who's taking care of the children and the husband. And today is our exciting day. We like to celebrate true parents' holy birthday together. And, we are preparing some wonderful performance. So please invite a friend and let's share, let's enjoy this Sunday together with a big celebrate, true parents was born and they came to the America. And we are all fruit of true parents. And they are missing, whatever we had a touching the heart and the time spent together 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. True parents never forget. That is a sincere devotion, never disappear. That I believe. So let's invite our friends together. Let's celebrate the true parents' birthday. And the potluck, please bring your potluck to sharing the food with our brothers and sisters together. Okay, so please join me prayer. Beloved Heavenly Parents, your dream to have your children, your dream to have to become the true parents, and you want to love all your children, embrace them, love them, and you want to see their happy face. Your dream, you create a universe to all of us feel joy through the nature. True Mother told us, I want to embrace everyone like home. Everyone come to see each other exciting. I can't wait Sunday coming. My brothers and sisters, they are in church. I want to see them. That kind of the church we like to create. And that is a father and mother dream. To parents, now is the time, era of Choinbook, we like to create such an environment. I miss you. I love you. I pray for you. If everyone giving that kind of such a warm word each other, we don't have to worry about the war. We don't have to worry about the national boundaries. We can build an international highway. But yet, we are not such a model family yet, a model community yet. That's why we have to show what is a God's ideal community, what is a God's ideal family. We are still striving to create such a ideal situation, but we have a hope, we have a vision, and we have a God, and we have a true parents. We have everything to build the kingdom of heaven. Heavenly parents, today we will celebrate true parents' birthday. All blessed families are fruit of true parents, and they never forget. Once we had a walking together with true parents. That's why true parents miss all brothers and sisters walking with them, especially pioneer time, most difficult time. No foundation, no famous true parents, Reverend Sam Young Moon. At that time, brothers and sisters just believe true parents, just believe their vision, then follow true parents. Such a brothers and sisters is a precious brothers and sisters. Then true parents want to embrace them. God want to embrace them. God, please bring them back to us. And we can share, we can show them we love you, we pray for you, we care of you. Thank you, God. Today we have a wonderful day, Sunday. I pray for this. My name, Atsushi, and Namiko Taki, Noble Central Family. Achi.
Adieu.
Please feel free to unmute for unison prayer.
Good morning,
Loving
Heavenly
Heavenly Parent, today,
Lord.
から始めるホノレブモーニング。
parents' birthday.
そしてまた
もうや
今日が今日は
The day we are the celebration
さらに健康で安全でまたこの時代を導いてくださいますことをまたお母様が本当に強いでいらっしゃる間に
15年もあるかどうか
地上天国の実現をして南北統一させてくれたのをそれを取り除くことができるように
So many ways throughout the course of
until we truly want to be
providence, allowing us to participate in with minded, limited abilities. They encourage us to advance, grow. Thank you so much, our Heavenly Father.
そしてこのすべての世界を
Goliath,
ラバケを含めて この家庭において本当に神様を明かすことのできるこの場を見てください。また私たちも私たち夫婦の希望を本当にあって若い世代を教育していかなくてはならないこの立場をまた与えられた神様のバムサ君がそういうどうかまた今日はニュージャージーでもまたフィラデルフィアでも
Aju, Aju, Aju. Thank you everyone for the unison prayer. Well, that concludes today's Junction 1 prayer visual. Thank you everyone for joining us today, and hopefully I get to see everyone tomorrow. And have a happy Sunday. Have a great day, everyone.
You.
Bye.
Happy birthday, Pastor Naokimi. God bless you.
Happy birthday. Happy
Thank you.
Sunday.
Everyone, happy Sunday.
Thank you, Dr. Ward, for a great presentation.
Happy birthday. Have a fun, great
Happy
Sunday,
birthday,
Monday.
Pastor Naokimi.
Misael, good
Thank
boy.
Alexa will come back.
Good morning.
God bless the babies. Michael and Maria, God bless you.
Alexa, good to see you.
Hi, Michael,
Hi,
Maria.
Dr. Kylie.
Sakino, God bless.
Peace.
Thank you.
Ursula, nice to be with you this morning.
All right, we'll be closing in 5, 4, 3,
Morning.
2, 1.
Bye.